Hello, this is Bridget Rau with Divine Essentials. Okay, guys, so I did a little spread here from a Starseeds. It's been a little while since I've uploaded. I am not dressed or in the mindset to do like a full on video, so I figured I would just do like a little energy check in here to see what we need to know from the Divine Dog deck. The first card that came out was Awakening, Eyes Wide Open. And on the flip side, we have Loneliness, Longing to Belong. So it makes sense, especially for Starseeds, because with this energy, like when you awaken to the spiritual side of things, when you awaken to the Starseed journey, it's usually, one of the biggest signs is the loneliness factor, or the factor that we don't always feel like we belong here. That's usually one of the things that helps us to awaken and realizing like, oh, wait a minute, like this is something that kind of speaks to the fact that I am different, that I am a starseed, or that there was a purpose for me to be here, that I do actually have somewhere that I belong. And the reason why I've been feeling this way is because I'm not really necessarily there, even though you do fit in here, like for a reason right now. You can still hold on to that feeling. So it definitely made sense that these two came out for the beginning of this. But I feel like some of us could be kind of having that again, come up to the forefront, where it's like you just want to find those people or the place or the feeling of belonging somewhere. And you could be going through another level or another allowance of awakening, having more gifts turning on. You could also be just really impacted right now by the global energies as empaths. Sometimes we can be, feeling the effects of the collective anxiety or the collective fear, especially if people are, secluding themselves away and trying to protect themselves or protect their family, their children. You could be forced to stay at home right now. You could be forced to do things that you normally wouldn't be doing. So it could be kind of bringing up these next levels of awakening and realizing things. So just know there's a purpose for everything. And this year there's going to be a lot of stuff happening with the foundations around us because it is a number 4 year. I feel like April is going to be even more of that type of energy happening because we have 444. So there's April 4th to 2020 is going to be adding up to 4. So it's 444. And it's funny because I actually just screenshotted 444 before I came on to record this. So I feel like that is going to be something like of a sign for us to be, having our eyes open for, that there's something happening with our foundation. Our guides are there with us. Some people equate it with the angels. I equate it with my mother because she passed at 444. But it just feels like there's something going on here, and they want to remind you that you're not alone, and whatever you are going through, whatever is changing, is going to be propelling you forward. Things are going to change. It may not be easy at every moment or every step of the way, but it's time for us to dream big about where we're headed, okay? So just start dreaming into being the reality that you're trying to manifest for yourself, and have faith right now that everything you are wanting or everything that you have right beside you is more than enough. You have all that you need right now to get you there, okay? And it's like we always have everything that we need provided to us anyhow from the universe. It's like, if you think about it on a bigger scale, like sometimes we can have stuff happen with like our money or our finance, our jobs, our career, like stuff that's going on right now with the whole world. It's like people could be fearful of like they losing their job or having to take time off because their kids aren't in school, or what about the stock market, or how about all the money it's going to cost to do this or to do that, or people going off and spending large amounts of money on things to kind of prepare themselves for quarantines and seclusion and all of that. So just know that even if you were to like lose all your money and your home, the earth provides everything that you need. It's more so that we've been conditioned to feel like we need to have some big fancy house, some nice fancy car, that we need to have like all these packaged up foods and these things. But if it came down to it, You have natural instincts inside of you that would allow you to survive. You're not going to die. It's like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? And then start realizing like all that you do have right at your disposal right now, and start being gratitude, have gratitude for it, be grateful for it, and dream big for the future, but hold on to the gratefulness and the gratitude and the remembrance of where you've come from, so that you can continue to manifest where you're going, because that's how we manifest, is by celebrating our victories, which is the next one here. So acknowledge where you've come from. Always remember that, because I can guarantee you where you've come from and where you're going are going to be two big different places. Even where you've been to where you are right now are probably big, huge differences. And we go through, the ebb and flow of up and down and back and forth and all these things, but celebrate what you've done. Celebrate the times that it wasn't easy, celebrate the times that it has been, and just celebrate all the growth and the lessons and the awakening that you've been able to acquire through it. Even when you do feel alone, realize that if you didn't have those times alone, you may not have had like those moments of aha. So basically, be content and be satisfied with who you are, where you are, what you've accomplished, what you're going to accomplish. Act as if you've already accomplished it on some level. Like when you're dreaming into being your future, imagine that you've already done it. What does that look like, taste like, smell like, feel like, to be exactly where you want to be, to feel all of those things, and then allow yourself to be content in the moment of knowing that that's where you're headed, and also be content with what you've already done, because these fears seem to be popping up big time right now. And if we allow those fears to come in, we basically block ourselves and guard ourselves from what it is we're wanting. So they're also saying clarity is right under your nose. I feel like some of us could be really like struggling to get answers for things, especially if we're in any vibration of fear. Sometimes we can go to a place of fear, especially with our dreams and with our, desires to be with particular people, or to have friends, or to feel like we belong, or that we're supported. But they're saying that there's clarity right under your nose. So there's probably going to be some aha moments, or some big moments that shake up the foundation that you've been living under, or living on rather. And you're going to have clarity. You're going to have those awakening moments that go, oh, that's what that is, or that's why I've done this, or that's why, I had to go through this to get here. It's basically, this is such a broad thing that if it's a general collective reading, it doesn't even matter if it's a pick a pile. It's like your clarity is going to be specific to you. You know what I mean? You need to be the one that looks right underneath your nose, without the fear, face the fear and just go towards what it is that you're trying to do. Think about why you might not be doing the things that you're wanting to do. Think about how you're showing up in the world, so that you're not blocking yourself and guarding yourself, and just be in your integrity. Present that part of you that is truthful, no matter what. If you're fearful, if you're happy, if you're sad, if you're lonely, if you're suffering, or if everything's great and everything's blessings, try to be there and speak your truth. This is so funny, because I was pulling these cards and I'm like, these are just like the way that they came out just went hand in hand together. So I know that this is a definite message. I love this deck so much because it usually does this. But we all struggle with this. I've definitely struggled with this, with speaking my truth lately and being in integrity, because of fear, because of people, doing certain things, and me not wanting to give people recognition for causing me pain, or for causing me aggravation. I didn't want to admit that something bad might happen, or that it's been harder than normal, because I didn't want to give people like that recognition. But without letting people know that, nobody can support me. You know what I mean? Like my people who do care can't help me if they don't know that like I'm suffering or struggling. So I really feel like being in our integrity and speaking our truth, regardless of who's going to hear it, or regardless of, what it is, even like my victories I've been holding back on, because I know that the people who are doing things to hurt me don't want me to celebrate. They don't want to hear about my good stuff, and it's going to trigger them to continue to do stuff. So again, it's like holding back the truth based out of fear of well, if I let people know that this good thing happened, that these big dreams are going good for me, then they're going to sabotage it. So it's hard to be content in that. It's hard to feel like, oh, everything's going to be fine. If these people find out that you're celebrating, they might try to do something else to you. It's just, it feels like this is some collective stuff that we could all be facing, and trying to kind of put on a brave face when we really just need to be vulnerable and express ourselves, and allow things to happen, because that's on. Oh my goodness. This is the next card. And then the one under that is vulnerable, the strength to show yourself. So like I was saying, we just got to allow things to happen and be vulnerable, because people respond to this. And look, there you go. People will have empathy for you. Don't let the one or the two who want to tear you down, or who want to be jealous or hateful about what your dreams are, or the ones who make you feel lonely, that you're crazy for awakening, tear you out of your ability to be vulnerable and express your truth, because there are other empaths out there. There are other people out there who will see you and hear you and support you, and they want to see that truth, because it's most likely people are going to resonate with your truth. They're not going to resonate with the falseness. They're going to sense something's off there, and there's no shame in being in your truth. And so some of the overall energies up here, we have companionship through thick and thin. So I feel like there's going to be some people, or there are people around you that are there no matter what, whether you're riding high or you're riding low, or if you're on a freaking roller coaster of like things are great and then things are not so great, and things are great and oh my god, no, they might not be. There's people out there who will be there through the thick and thin. If you don't have somebody around you right now, I feel like that is coming, and you will also be protected, okay? But you've got to put up your guard too, like sometimes we can be a little like loosey-goosey with our foundation, like of boundaries and protecting ourselves. Especially as empaths, we can tend to have too much empathy, and we can feel bad for people, and we can allow them to take up space in our energy, in our life, especially this collective stuff going on. It's gonna be a time that we need to put up our guard and protect ourselves energetically, so that we're not taking on even more bull crap, or we're not allowing ourselves to just be content within our own stuff that we have to deal with already, never mind having everybody else super focused on things that's causing waves within the energies, and just waves within our lives. And if you do get angry, allow yourself to get angry. Don't pretend that everything's fine, because people are going to sense those things too, especially if you do have a community with empaths in it, or if you have people around you. It doesn't even matter. People could just be awakening to that there's something off. There's something off there. Maybe you're pissed off and you're holding back because you don't want to give that recognition that somebody made you mad, or you don't want to deal with whatever it is that's going on in your life. So you could get mad and just shut down and do nothing. And that's not, again, in your place of integrity or vulnerability to speak your truth. So we've got to allow whatever's happening, whether it's good or bad, to happen. Be vulnerable when it happens, and let people know what's going on. Feel the heat, get that anger out, express it, because it's going to feel a lot better afterwards when you do say, you know what, mother pooper, I'm done with this. I'm not going to let this whatever, because then the people who actually do care are going to show up. They're going to want to put their guard up for you as well. They're going to protect you, and they're going to help you to excel. They're going to let you do your best. They want you to do your best. Those are the people you want around you, the ones that, will get angry for you, the ones that are going to want to be there to guard you and protect you and to love you, regardless of what's happening in your life. You don't want the people who are only there when things look good, or the people who only show up when, it looks like everything's falling apart for you, because they want to thrive off of that pain. So pay attention to what's happening around you. Pay attention to the people around you. Make sure that others are being true. Make sure that you're surrounding yourself with those who are in integrity, and just allow whatever's happening to happen, because it's eventually going to push us towards, more of this energy of celebrating and just feeling content as we excel forward on our path. Okay, guys, so hopefully this little update helped some of you. I figured, it was better than not updating anything at all. Let me get one little card from the Starseed Oracle, and I did make a new deck called the Soul Purpose Oracle that I plan to do a pick-a-pile here for all of you, so we'll see what happens within the next couple of days. We have walk-in soul experiences with walk-in souls. This is interesting because I feel like these could be coming in right now basically to protect you, or to like check up on you, or to help you with awakening so that you're not feeling lonely while you're going through stuff. So walk-in souls, they may show up in other people that you know, or they may just show up like randomly throughout the day, like when you go to the store and there's like something about that person that you talk to that's like, they stood out, something about them just stood out to you and made you feel a certain way. Could have been a walk-in soul that was there to kind of assist you or support you or check up on you. There can also be a negative kind of energy too sometimes that people get from these. I don't necessarily resonate with that too much, but just know that sometimes people can harbor dark energy or dark spirits based off of what they've been doing. Even yourself, if you haven't been protecting yourself, or if there's like resentment and anger that's being suppressed right now, try not to do that, because you don't want that type of energy walking up and into you and manifesting, things opposite of what you're wanting to manifest. But just pay attention to the experiences that you're having right now, and the feelings that you're feeling when you're around certain people. If they're sticking out to you, ask why they're sticking out to you. But we do have some like activations happening within ourselves. I feel like the next advancement within the mission is happening as well. Like I said, people are going to be awakening to the next level. That Arcturian energy, that's a very advanced type of energy, a very like powerful energy. And Divine Feminine, honoring the ways of the sacred feminine, cycles of rebirth. So like I said, foundations are changing and our new cycles are going to be coming in. So honor it and allow it. And look at that, intuitive readings help support you and others. So, every time I do a reading like this, I know that I receive messages from it. Whenever I do private readings, like no matter what I do, when I'm channeling, I usually find some sort of information or perspective that I normally wouldn't find just by thinking, So I feel like this could be helpful for some of you, to either watch or to even just give them to people. So you may have been, pulled to watch this reading when you don't normally do it. And right now may be a time for you to tap in, especially as a divine feminine, or to dive into a divine feminine that can offer this type of support to you, to assist you with whatever you're going through right now, I got two. The Akashic Record Keeper, assist others to access ancient wisdom, and committed. You have committed to a sacred union. So some of you could be committed to come together with a divine feminine, or you could be a divine feminine who's committed to a divine masculine. And there may be messages right now that you need to hear through the cards. Maybe this whole message here is going to fit in with your, situation. If you have somebody that you have committed to on that level, or maybe they're going to be the one that's walking in, or maybe they're going to have a walk-in experience. Either somebody comes in to bring them, this type of message, or maybe you need to connect with your counterpart to get this energy, to find some of the messages from the Akashic record. But either way, there's something that you've committed to on a soul level that, could even be within yourself. You may be committed to have a sacred union within, so that you can assist others with accessing their own wisdom, their own, records, and the information of all their lives and what they're meant to be doing here. You could be having that like information come alive inside of you right now, and this might just be for you to kind of know. We also have Crystal Activator. You intuitively connect with and retrieve information from crystals. So basically it feels like right now is just a time of receiving downloads, receiving information, receiving support, receiving guidance in any way and form. If you've been called to like use a certain crystal, or you've been like, looking at particular crystals, try to get them and listen to your rhythm with your soul and be unique, like this is that same message as integrity and expressing your truth. Don't let anybody hold you back from beating to your own drum, like just being that unique person that you are. And one more, look at that, infinity, infinite love, unified duality. Number 13, that's again another divine feminine number. So I feel like this is basically a message for the divine feminines out there, or even the masculines who have a divine feminine, to just, tap into the infinite love that is available through the Divine Feminine Essence to unify duality. So if you've been really in your masculine energy, you may be needing to commit more so to your feminine energy. Or if you've been too much in the feminine energy, commit to balancing it and unifying any type of duality. If you've been in the dark, unify with the light. If you've been too much in the light, trying to, like I said, ignore or throw off the fact that there could be some darkness or anger, coming up and creeping in, allow it. Allow yourself to know that there's always going to be the ups and the downs, the back and the forth, the good and the bad, but it's all here to teach you a lesson. So hopefully that assisted you guys. It definitely made a lot of sense, because this is not something like, there's not a whole lot of cards within that deck that, ties in specifically to Divine Feminine Energy. And in this deck, there's only one that specifically connects to Divine Feminine Energy. So I feel like there's a reason for that. And I think that there'll be clarity right under your nose for you to understand that message for yourself. Okay, guys? So thank you very much. In Renee. Namaste.